Capaldi. And someone you love, especially her indoors.
That's right, yeah, and I think that's, it's my type of music in as far as you can hear the lyrics. The lyrics mean something, but some of the stuff in the charts at the moment, I just can't get my head around at all.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a bit of a surprise. And that will surprise you. I'll run through that top 30 for you just a little. But in the meantime, Sherry, one or two Spanish bits and pieces. The Spanish government have introduced in town centres, but the nice thing is, it rather looks as though not everybody is going to be fined. Well done for Benidorm. They've just installed 7 new radar monitors in the principal streets in Benidorm because of the change, now 30 kilometres an hour speed limit. So it comes into force on January the 1st. Although exceeding the speed limit will not give you a fine, as the radar monitors are simply informative. A green smiley sign will tell you that you're under the speed limit and you're doing okay. If it turns a red, angry face, it indicates excessive speed.
Oh, that's a bit more sort of friendly, isn't it? And so maybe would force people to slow down. They say it's delivery drivers, and they're probably being given more and more, targets to try and get around this sort of thing. And they're the ones, I think, who are, at the moment, speeding rather than the average motorist, because, let's face it, we've all been frustrated sitting behind the average orange car pedaling down the valley at 30 kilometres when he should have been doing 70 or 80. Around the urban areas, there are lots of sleeping policemen here as well, aren't they?
Exactly. There are big lumps in the road. You can't really go very much faster than that anyway. I have to get the talking about new things. It's sad to note that already some of the big events for next year are being cancelled. One of the biggest ferias or fairs, the Sevilla Fair, which has gone on since 1847. Civil War. That's been cancelled again from next April. They're hoping to move it forward to September if they can. But the trouble is that a lot of these things make such a huge difference to the local economy. That's going to cost them 800 million euros scrapping that fair.
Yeah, it's not just the actual cost of the organisation of the event, but it's the extra, or the lack of business that will be enjoyed by the town. Will cause it, because some of these bars and restaurants in every village around here, when they have the fiestas in the town, they get this huge boost in income that keeps them going through the sort of bad times of the winter. So, yeah, it's COVID-19 sadly is having so many far-reaching effects on our lives and on our economy.
Exactly. Okay, live from our studios here in the Northern Coast of London. If you're listening on shortwave and you'd like to get in contact tonight, email info@ValleyFM.com. Yes, we had a look at the website of our transmission provider, Channel292.20. You'll find a postal address if you'd rather send us a card. You're going to find out exactly where we are. You find the Mediterranean coast of Spain, you find the island of Ibiza, the Balearic Islands, and round back to the mainland, which is where you'll find the sort of main ferry port of Denia. Half an hour up the road, you'll find out where we are in the little town of Orba, playing some Christmassy tunes as well, because we can. It's really Christmas. It's always nice to play a request. And one of our regular listeners often throws a bit of a curveball in that direction, but we've managed to find it.
You have indeed,
yes.
Despite the fact that the narrative wasn't quite what we were told. But anyway, hello Dave, and he's been out walking his dogs along the beach this morning, and he said he even had to remove his sweater. It was that warm, which our listeners back in the UK will not be very happy to hear.
It's difficult. I mean, you often hear the phrase, particularly when you're near to Spain, they say, well, yes, Spain is a cold country with warm sunshine. I'm actually sat here and I can feel the breeze coming through the window. I think that's actually quite cold. But then again, we're in sort of shade here. And in the sunshine, it can get really quite warm, can't it?
It can. But I think the longer you stay here, the more climate cold you become, and therefore the more you feel the cold.
Exactly.
So you can tell the visitors here this time of the year, because they're still walking around in shorts and
they're thinking, it's sort of 18, 19 degrees in the sunshine. It's fantastic. We're all sitting around in our thick jumpers with woolly socks and thinking, I'm cold.
As soon as the sun goes down at 5 o'clock or whenever, the central heating goes on full blast.
Exactly. Right, so what are we playing for young Dave?
We're playing Little Rubber Boy, but it's a slightly different second version, I think, for King and Country off their album, their live from Philly's Christmas album.
Okay, let's have a listen. In our direction, doesn't he? There you go.
Yeah.
For King and Country, Little Drummer Boy.
Not the usual sort of festive version, but well,
it's totally different. We like something that's a little bit different. Something that we've got to do. I mean, it is interesting, isn't it? When you look at the charts, 9 times out of 10 during the year, you look at the charts and you think, I haven't heard any of those artists. Quite often there's warnings of bad lyrics or whatever else, and a lot of it's rap, and we don't like any of that rap. But it's interesting, if you look at the UK top 30 currently, this is the one that was updated on the 18th. So this is the current top 30. Are you ready? Shall we do this? Let's do the topic. Top 30 then, from the UK charts at the moment. Another 30, Happy Christmas, War is Over, John Lennon. At 29, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Andy Williams. Billie Eilish, Therefore I Am, is at 28. 27, One More Sleep, Leona Lewis. And at 26, Miley Cyrus and Prisoner. At 25, Merry Christmas Everybody, Slade, Without You Kid Love Obies at 24. Levitating Dua Lipa at 23. Midnight Sky, Miley Cyrus at 22. 21, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Justin Bieber. Kelly Clarkson, Underneath the Tree at 20. Taylor Swift, Nobody No Crime at 19. Brenda Lee, Rocking Around the Christmas Trees at 18. Santa Tell Me, Ariana Grande, that's at 17. Wizard, I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, is at 16. And Champagne Problem Machine, Taylor Swift at 15. That's you. Most of the rest of them are not. Number 14, 35 and 34, Ariana Grande. Chris Rea, Driving Over Christmas at 13. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Michael Bublé at 12. Step Into Christmas, Elton John at 10. Whoopity by CJ is at 10. At 9, This Christmas, Jess Lynn. Sweet Melody, Little Mix at 8. Do They Know It's Christmas, Band Aid at 7. Merry Christmas Everybody, Shakin' Stevens at 6. Fairy Tale of New York, The Pogues at 5. Positions from Ariana Grande's at 4. At 3, it's Taylor Swift and Willow. Wham! Last Christmas at 2. What's number 1 then? Believe it or not, after all the years on release, for the very first time, it is top of the charts. It is Mariah Carey. It is All I Want for Christmas Is You. It's number 1. Christmas Is You. I think the next update of the charts, I think it's on Christmas Eve, so we might discover if there has been a sudden surge into the top of the charts, as there often is in that week up to Christmas Eve.
But it just shows that it's the old ones that are the best.
Absolutely right.
And if the ValleyFM Presentation song had actually been released, you never know, we might have actually made it to the charts.
Oh, yeah.
We've had 96 plays on SoundCloud so far.
Exactly right, yes.
It doesn't take much these days with all the downloads and so on. It's not like selling a million copies of your 45 years ago.
Exactly. So, ValleyFM, live from the northern Costa Blanca. We do like to be ultra-local, apart from when we go shortwave, of course, which is worldwide. So at least we can share a little bit of our localness with a wider audience. Hopefully, in the next few days, I'm going to be getting in contact with a young man, again with local connections, who is currently paddleboarding around the British Isles. Trying to get through to him later on. But there are some subjects of sort of local folks doing very nicely. Things, incredible things, really.
That's right. 11-year-old Oscar Sheehan, he lives at the bottom of the valley here in Hooper Pogro, and he came to our attention earlier this year because he and his mum are going to walk 300 kilometers on the Camino de Santiago this time. And Oscar was trying to raise money for a sensory gardens in the Hooper Pogro. And we'll be continuing that story in the year because they've raised a lot of money. and they're about to actually start designing this garden. But as if that wasn't enough, young Oscar has taken part this weekend in the Artistic Edge Dance Academy's European Dance Finals. And he's the youngest in his category, and although the competition was supposed to be held in Italy, sadly because of the COVID-19 restrictions, that wasn't possible, and so they've had to do their dance in front of the public virtual sort of dance, doing it by video and sending that to the judges in Italy. And that was held last night. We're waiting with bated breath to find out tonight whether he's actually won. So this is over the match, and perhaps we can play the next song especially for him.
Exactly. And the interesting thing, I mean, it's probably best to mention the Santiago de Compostela. It's a pilgrimage route up in northern Spain, by many, but a fair old cat, an 11-year-old, you've interviewed him 2 or 3 times. He's like an old head on young shoulders, isn't he?
He's so mature, and I mean, to be sort of faced with a microphone and an interview. When I was that age, I would have just completely clammed up. I wouldn't have been able to say anything. And my Valley Vibes program this coming Saturday is going to look back at 2020, and of course that story has to sort of feature in that review. And I played again the telephone conversation I had with him when he was actually walking along that Camino de Santiago. And as I say, he's just astounding at how mature he is, and the feeling he has for the people he's going to be helping with all this money that he's raised in this day centre in La Habra. It's incredible. And, I really have... I'm just gobsmacked by him. I really am. And I think his mum, Neve, should be very proud of him and her other 2 children as well, because they're all very active in local things and very, mature heads on their shoulders.
Exactly right. Okay, well, let's try the song. Let's try something brand spanking new. It's an interesting combination, this one. Dolly Parton, together with Michael Bublé, in a brand new single from them called Cuddle Up, Cozy Down Christmas. Amazing Grace, as they do see the video recorded in the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, which in itself is a stunning building. Have you been?
It is, yes. I'm sort of one of the... It's like Marmite, isn't it? You either like it or you hate it, because it's so modern, even though it was started back in, was it 1920, the first building?
Yeah, it's been... and they still haven't
finished it.
They still haven't finished it. I mean,
they've only just got the plans approved, actually.
Exactly right. Yeah, because they never had a building license, even though it was started all those years ago. Never had a building license. It was a stunning building. It's interesting because he was a devout Catholic. Anton Gaudi, of course, designed the thing. Yet it is done in almost an earthy way. The big columns are like trees, leaves.
That's right. It's just not what you would think of in the traditional cathedral designs, which I think is a tribute to him in a way, to have the courage to design something so off the wall, if you like. It's beautiful in its own way. As is that song. I think it translates so beautifully into Spanish.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life listening to that, sung in English, as it were, in the English language. But I think it's just beautiful, and the acoustics in the cathedral were beautiful, and that unexpected. If you hadn't told me about the sort of Celtic pipe band coming in there from northern Spain, I wouldn't have believed it.
Fascinating. Now then, interesting little connection. Gives us a chance here to play another well-known Christmas song done in a slightly different style. Who is Sapphire?
Well, Sapphire is a young lady who lives back in the UK, in Hampshire. She's only 17 years old, so when you listen to this song, just bear in mind how young she is. But in fact, she first came to fame a few years ago on a television program which was hosted by Dawn French. And it was celebrating, young children and what they could do. But at the age of 7, Sapphire released a video in which she, sang way above her age and so on. And so this really launched her. She's now got a recording contract, and she's released this particular song at Christmas, which I think is quite a brave interpretation of the old Chris Rea number, but in a sort of slower way. Have a listen to this and see what you think.
Gliding over Christmas. Because your son was involved in some way.
Yes, he is quite into his photography and still does some professional stuff from time to time. And he was asked to do a shoot for the album that Papa has just released. And if you will find out a bit more about it, there are lots of Papa's songs there, really gems, of course. But if you go and look for Sapphire Original, you might find her website, and then look at the video that goes with that. So a good different version, I think.
Exactly right. That's a quick reminder, if you are listening on shortwave and you'd like to get in contact, we don't actually have an official QR code for these things take a while, especially if you're in Spain. We're working on it, but you're welcome to get in contact with us, info@valleyfm.es. info@valleyfm.es. Indeed, the same email address if you're living locally in one of the either the Orba or the Hamilton Valley. You've got an event going on, any kind of thing you can do, any request, anything at all, get in contact with us. It's good for me.
It is indeed. And in fact, if anybody is concerned that I'm always giving out information about Orba events, it's only because I live in Orba and I have access to the town hall, event pages and that sort of thing. But if something's happening in your village, in your town, just tell us all about it. We'll put it out on our What's On page and in our
Okay, I think we've got enough time for one more, so let's do... How about this one in Spanish? Look up the official translation of that, just to double check, and it is...
Marionetta on a cuerda,
Marionetas en la cuerda, that was...
1998年末，纪录片《奥姆》。
Well, she could do that without any shoes on.
Well, yeah, there is that.
But she won the Eurovision Song Contest for that.
Have It on the String was, yes, the original.
The
Avatar 60.